Okay, so we are now going to begin with the x-iser short burst stepping program. And to help me is my partner, Jarrett Phillips. Welcome, Jarrett.
Hey, how's everybody doing today?
We're doing good. We've already gone through the overview. I want to go through the details now. So this is actually a very, very important part of the programming. And so we're going to spend some time in making sure your form is correct. So I'm going to ask Jarrett to go ahead and step up onto the machine. Now, when you first step on, a lot of times people ask this question, you've had this asked of you, Jarrett, where do you place the foot? And what I like people to do is to place it as far onto the pedal as they can so the toes come right up to the end, the front part of the pedal.
You're talking about that little ridge right there?
You got it. Yeah, a little ridge at the front there. Take your toes right up to that.
Okay.
Now, if you were to be further back, what does that happen?
It makes the balance a lot more challenging.
Yeah, you saw that. So to begin with, have your foot further up, and then that balance will be a little bit easier. Now, talking of balance, even just standing on the machine, and I know you've commented to me before when you first started doing this, you might feel a little uneasy.
Yeah, because I mean, with the pedals and everything else, trying to get my balance was challenging at first.
Right. So if your balance is compromised a little bit, you feel you need support. What do we do there?
You can simply put the machine next to a wall and have somebody just touch it, or when I was training my clients, they simply use my shoulder as the wall.
Okay, and you'll notice there, Jarrett, using his hand like this. He's not got a grip. It's just finger touch on a wall or a door jamb is all you need to have that security of knowing you've got support there. Then what happens is these stabilizer muscles that actually balance you don't go to sleep. If you go to a gym and you see people with this very poor form that's bad for the back, or you see this type of a thing, those muscles are going to sleep and the arms are doing the balancing. We don't want that. We want you to develop balance, and if you just have that fingertip touch, it develops very quickly. I think you've mentioned to me you've seen that.
Yeah, I had a 65-year-old woman that I trained, and within a week of using the machine, she was able to let go of the wall and actually start holding dumbbells.
Well, that's great. So that's very encouraging when you see that kind of improvement very quickly. Okay, so we've got a foot placement, and as you get better, you can actually move your feet further back. So as we said, it becomes more challenging.
I'm going to do that, Mark, because I've been working on this machine for a while, and I want to challenge myself a little today.
All right, that sounds good. But once you do that, that becomes more challenging, and that's a good thing to do, so that you're always further improving your ability to balance. So we've now stepped onto the machine. I always encourage people to begin with to start off doing this every time. And I'd say to Jarrett or myself, stand nice and tall to get good posture, shoulders back, relax the head. We know when you're looking up or looking down in a neutral position. Okay? So we're standing nice and tall. And then one of the things with this pelvic region here, right now, Jarrett has a neutral pelvis, which is what you'll have if you're just standing. That's comfortable for you on neutral. What we want to do is to actually have what we call a co-contraction of the stomach muscles and the back muscles together. What I often tell people is if I'm going to punch you in the stomach, you're going to automatically kind of brace. You've often said you give a cue to your clients.
Yeah, I just tell them, suck in your belly button like if you were at the swimming pool and you were sucking your stomach in because you were worried about it sticking out too far.
Okay, you want it to look good. Okay, so when you're on the machine and we want you to look good, make sure you get that bracing, and that helps protect the spine. So it also teaches you in your day-to-day activities, you might be lifting something out of the car. A lot of people hurt their backs doing things like that. This will teach you and train you to always remember to kind of get that brace before you do these movements. So it becomes a very good training device in that respect. So once we've got that position, we're holding that co-contraction. I'm then asking Jarrett to lower himself down so we preload the weight of the body onto the quads. We're going to start stepping, and there are a few cues here that I want. You'll notice now I could literally put a glass of water on Jarrett's head. It's not going to spill because he's not bouncing up and down. So in actual fact, what happens here is as he's going down, the upstroke, this leg coming up, has to work just as hard as the downstroke. So another way of looking at it, both legs are on the whole time. It's different than when if you're running up the stadium stairs.
I had to take a break there, Mark.
No break, as you can see. Very strenuous on the legs. So I'm not lying when I say both legs are working together like that. Okay? When you're going up a staircase, you're driving the body weight up with this leg, and this leg is being picked up with a hip flexor, and you're getting a half cycle recovery. Over the course of 60 seconds, that's a big difference. When both are working at the same time, it becomes very challenging. So some cues here to get this great form that you're seeing from Jarrett. Stand nice and tall, drop down. Imagine you've got a glass of water on your head or a book on your head. Don't lift, just push. So you're not lifting the heels, keep them pressed against the pedals. The other thing, we don't want to be hitting the bottom of the pedal. Okay, so if Jarrett was taking a couple of steps, go ahead and hit the bottom.
Let me catch my breath for a second. All right.
Well, this is easy, isn't it? It's not a long time. Okay, if you start hearing that, you're going a little bit too far on the step. So just shorten that step just enough where you just miss it. You're just coming short of that. So if you hear it now and again, that's okay. But ideally, we want to build where we won't hear that. Okay, now the other thing, Jared has been doing this on the heavy setting. Now on the heavy setting, it actually, is that easier or harder? You know.
It's actually easier because I'm not having to step as fast. It gives me a little support.
Okay, and you're going almost as fast as you can go on this resistance.
Yeah, that right there is about it before I start flying up in the air because of the resistance.
All right, so what we're going to do now, the goal is to gradually build to where you do this on the lightest setting, okay? But remember, when you first start out, there's nothing wrong with starting on the heavy setting to give you a bit more support.
It's actually easier to do it on the heavier setting.
Absolutely, especially to begin with, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay, and what I'm going to do so you can see the difference in the speed, if we just change that resistance, and obviously it's very easy to do with your screwdriver, or remember just a quarter, remember just a half turn would take you to light, a quarter turn to 3 o'clock will take you to medium.
So we actually made it where the screw is facing horizontal.
Correct. So what I call the 3 o'clock
This
position.
is the medium setting.
This is medium, yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead and
I'm going to
step
get
on.
back on. I'm going to stand up nice and straight. I'm going to activate my stomach. I'm going to slightly squat. I'm going to start to pedal. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm starting to go quite faster.
Okay. So much quicker stepping, more speed equates to more intensity, which means it's harder. Okay. So you're doing more bursting now. Okay.
Yeah, it's already burning.
All right. Now, what I'm going to do, so you can see that even on the lighter setting and the difference in the speed, and I'm also going to give you a different angle so you can see the pelvis position and also how, what we call a plumb line in a nice posture position through here. So we're actually now going to switch you over, and we'll start you on the heavy setting. Go ahead and step on here.
The heavy setting.
Just so they can see the form on the heavy setting again. So we're dropping down there, we're driving down. Now what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to change the resistance as he's stepping. Keep stepping for me.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can. It's a little harder to do, but the reason I'm doing it is I want Jarrett to start going as fast as he can in each one.
That was a big difference.
Okay, keep going, keep going. Now I'm going to the light now.
Whoa.
Now look how much faster he's going now on the light setting. So this is a lot more intense at this speed.
Oh, that's it.
Okay, that's all he's got. Okay, so now that's basically using the machine in the short burst stepping, okay, with no upper body involvement. Okay, so what we're going to do now, take a little break, and we're going to show you how to increase the intensity by incorporating some dumbbells.